Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Now Sunday, the NFL put on a display of unity, of solidarity of sorts to basically peacefully protest against the remarks of the president. Now understand, 1943, you had the Supreme Court basically upheld the fact that the Constitution has an amendment, the First Amendment, that basically gives people the freedom of speech. And in that clause, it basically says that you cannot be forced to participate in any patriotic rituals such as the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, I understand a lot of people are upset at the fact that this display of a protest is taking place during an NFL game and people just want to watch the game or what have you. You need to understand what has been going on in this country over the last few years. First of all, we go all the way back to, Oscar Grant, Mike Brown, all of the police killings, Freddie Gray, Eric Gardner, Alton Sterling, Sandra Bland, Kelly Thomas, and many other people who have been beaten to death or shot dead by police officers. You have seen protests, you have seen marches, you have seen riots, you have seen so many things to try to bring attention to this problem. Nothing has been done. After these protests, after these marches, people have blocked off streets, blocked off expressways to protest, to bring attention to what's going on in America, to bring attention to people being wrongfully killed, no matter black or white, by these police officers. Nothing has been done. Nothing is being done. So you had Colin Kaepernick take a knee. Now he did so during the national anthem. A national anthem that lasts, on average, 1 minute 34 seconds. 1 minute and 34 seconds that he has to peacefully protest, to take a knee, to not say anything that has to do with the people being killed by these police officers. 1 minute and 34 seconds that the news media stole from you to focus on him and all the other people who are peacefully protesting. 1 minute and 34 seconds that you could have changed the channel, that you could have exercised your freedom, your right to participate in the national anthem. 1 minute and 34 seconds to bring awareness, attention to the deaths of innocent people. And you have these spoiled brats upset about that. You have people burning jerseys. Y'all thought I was gonna burn my jersey, right? I ain't stupid. People burning jerseys. People shouting racial slurs at coaches. People going through all of this madness because they believe that the flag is being disrespected. So now, if we're being honest, if we're being truthful, this is not about the flag. It's not about our troops. It's about racism. Our troops, our soldiers, took an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I know I took that oath myself. So when we look at the fact that you have a government system that has allowed people to fly a Confederate flag, a Nazi flag, in our nation's capital, to disrupt peaceful marches with a Confederate flag and with a Nazi flag, and nothing has been done. Nothing. Now you want to talk about disrespecting troops. We're talking about two flags that troops have died fighting against. The Confederate flag, people want to call Colin Kaepernick a traitor. He's a traitor for basically going against the flag, for taking a knee. He's a traitor. So you have a Confederate flag where you have people flying a flag that represents them trading on the Constitution of the United States of America, trading on the Union. Because they traded on the Union, American soldiers died. American soldiers, many American soldiers died fighting against that Nazi flag. Died in a foreign country fighting for your freedom against that Nazi flag. Yet these people are given police protection, escorts, to fly a flag that completely disgraces and disrespects the troops and all the veterans and soldiers who have fought for this country. We're talking about, many of you know of grandparents who have fought in World War II. Yet this Nazi flag is being allowed to fly in Washington, D.C. Where's the outrage? Where's the CNN coverage? Where are the people being outraged about these Nazi flags and these Confederate flags being allowed to fly in Washington, D.C. So why hasn't the president, why hasn't the news media focused on the people flying these Nazi German flags at our nation's capital? Why aren't these people being called traitors? Why aren't these people being called sons of bitches? Now, to be fair, yes, America has went to war against many flags, but unlike those flags, these two flags are specifically against African American people and people of color and us having rights and freedoms. This is what this protest is about, because we have proven that these people flying these Nazi flags, flying these Confederate flags, these people who are racist are police officers, they are judges, they are even politicians. This is why people are kneeling. This is why people are protesting, because nothing is being done, that these people are in positions of power and are taking lives. So yes, Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Other NFL players took a knee to bring awareness to what's been going on in our country. We bring awareness in the NFL to so many other things. Breast cancer, ALS, autism, so many different things. Yet, when you have a person trying to bring awareness to African Americans being killed, unarmed people being killed, nobody wants to hear about it. We don't hear these sportcasters, we don't hear the news media talking about the injustices that's going on in the black community, about so many police officers killing unarmed people of color. People who are complying with what the officer is commanding is still being shot and killed, beaten. The NFL is not bringing any kind of awareness or attention to what's happening to people of color. So you had a person of color bring attention to it. You have other people of color bring attention to it. And because this country is so divided and so many people are racist and full of hate and anger and rage, they want to speak out and try to justify their racism with a flag, with disrespecting troops. They're trying to find something to justify their hatred and racism against African American people. Now, whenever there is a conversation about this topic, the first thing that is thrown out there is, what about black on black crime? Implying that black people do not protest. Black people do not say anything when there's black on black crime. We don't protest. We don't say anything. We condone and support black people killing black people. So why are we complaining when white people kill black people when we don't complain when black people kill black people? And that's bullshit. That's a cop-out. Because you don't understand what takes place in the black community because you do not live there. You are not shown what takes place because they want you to have one idea about what happens in the black community, that there's nothing but violence, drug dealing, and making babies out of wedlock. There are many marches and protests against black on black crime in the black community. There are many events every year, yearly, multiple events in the black community against violence. There are many Stop the Violence protests. There are murals. There are people doing so many different things in the black community to bring awareness to stop black on black crime. Black on black crime is the issue of poverty, just like white on white crime or what have you. You go into any other country, who are people killing? They are killing the people they are surrounded with. CNN is not having weeks of coverage specifically talking about the people who are walking around America with a German Nazi flag that's seen the death of many American soldiers. There's no way you can justify any of these actions with any kind of patriotic bullshit, because it's bullshit. This is about race. This is about people not wanting to see African Americans speak against what's happening, to speak up for themselves and speak against the police brutality and racism we have been seeing in this country for years. Yeah, you can talk about black on black crime, but we have been seeing this racism for decades. We have been protesting against this brutality, police brutality, for decades. Nothing has been done. We can go back to the civil rights movement. We can go back to Jim Crow, where we have been protesting against police brutality. We have been seeing the same type of racism back then as we do today. So it's not about black on black crime, because before all these stats and statistics existed, we still was marching and protesting against the same stuff. It's a cop-out, the excuse people are using. You wouldn't even know that there was a statistic that said Most of the black people killed in the black community are killed by other black people. If the racist, biased news media didn't put that statistic out there to get you to go in opposition against Black Lives Matter and black people speaking up against police brutality. It was done so to create separation and division in this country, to race bait. So if you disagree with Colin Kaepernick and the NFL taking a knee, taking a stand and protesting against the president or whatever they protesting against, then you are in opposition to the Constitution. You are angry against the flag. You are angry against what the flag stands for. You are angry against what the troops are standing for and have died for. If you are against the protest, then you are against the flag. It's not about a flag or a song or how cushy or special that song makes you feel. It's about people having the right, the freedom to protest, the freedom to assemble, the freedom of speech, and the freedom to speak against any injustices they see in the country that they are born in. We have stood for that flag for years, even though the song, the man who wrote the song, owned slaves. The song did not really speak to African-American people, us being slaves during the time it was written. But we still stood and fought and died for that flag. But soon as the media began to focus more on our protest and on people marching against the injustices in America, all of a sudden, white people have a problem. You have all the privilege in America. You have every right to drive down the street and feel safe. Black people can't drive down the street and feel safe anymore because of what's taking place. And we are saying, take a look, pay attention. These people have assembled. They are in positions of power. They are taking lives and nothing is being done. Somebody has to do something. All troops took an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. This president is an enemy. He's an enemy of freedom, an enemy of peace, and he should be impeached on those grounds. I can't think of another person that has caused so much separation in a country since this administration, this president, and using the news media to back up all the rhetoric to spread all of the hatred and racism and separation we are seeing is crazy. Taking away the focus of so many people in Puerto Rico and the South that is devastated by these storms, because that's where the attention is being taken away from. There are people, hospitals in Puerto Rico without electricity. People don't have food. There's no money system, nothing going on to help people buy supplies or to maintain while people wait for support to come to help them get through, this terrible time. So our attention has been diverted from that. No attention has still been brought on the fact that the problems are not being addressed that is causing these players to kneel in the first place. Still, nothing is being talked about as far as police brutality. Still, nothing has been addressed about what the NFL players have taken a knee for in the first place. About the fact that these Nazi groups and these KKK members have joined the police force. They have judges and politicians. We still continue to see the racism. We still continue to see the same stuff we've seen in the 1960s. Nothing has changed, and this is what people have taken a knee for to bring awareness to. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch and pay attention to what's going on. This is about separation. This is about racism and people trying to justify their own racism and use the flag to do so. Thanks for watching.